origin of Madam Koi Koi tells the story of how the ghost Koi Koi came into existence and how it murdered students and villagers alike. Hi there, welcome to my YouTube channel, Movie Chat with Tiana. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave your wonderful comments about the scary movie in the comment section. Remember, this recap is not meant to replace the original movie, either should it stop you from seeing the movie in its full originality. Always fall back to Netflix to see the movie in full. Welcome. The movie begins with Amanda in a dormitory seeing all her hostel mates dead in a pool of blood. She ran down the hallway and collided with the demon. Suddenly, she woke up. She was on the road going to her new school with her mom. She wasn't happy going to the school because her mom tried to convince her to accept going to the school, as it is the only school she can afford since she lost her old job and was lucky to find a new one. She questioned her on the way why she refused her father access to them, but her mom replied saying her father is dead to her. When they got to the school, Amanda, wearing a long face, got an apology from her mother, who promised that she would talk about her father when she's ready to talk about him. Then she agreed to stay. The principal of the school, a nun and mother superior, bargains on the phone with Father John on the grounds that the state wants to come take the school away from the church. She insisted that the school is best in the hands of the church, as they have won so many competitions and more. Miss Adeshola comes to her and says she needs to allow the state management take over the affairs of the school and the students, as the church have not been able to meet with their own part of the agreement between it and the state board education. But the sister stood her grounds on the matter. Miss Adeshola, however, informs her that she will surely take back the control of the school. Amanda and her mom arrives inside a hostel. She meets a cheerful and kind student named Edna, who told her most of the things she needed to know about her new school. They gladdened the heart of Amanda's mom, and the two students became friends. Edna and Amanda became close pals. As they walked down the path, they see Sister Ruth, aka Sister Silence. Edna says she had never spoken to anyone and only comes to the chapel to pray. Confused, Amanda asks her why. She tells her that some people say she saw Jesus in a vision and knows when he's coming. So she has decided not to talk to anybody and has taken a vow of silence. Edna says that others say she lost her voice as a child, but nobody knows what the truth is. When the superior summons all the students who gathered at the chapel, she tells them that they are welcome to St. Augustine's Catholic College. Edna spots the boys who are perceived to be the school hot cake, and their names are Lashe, KD, Tokumbo, and ID. She informs Amanda that aside from the boys being the smartest kids in the school, they're equally bad news and she needs to avoid them like a plague, because every girl that hangs out with them always end up in tears or hurt. Amanda asks why. The school have not done anything about it. Edna says the school just loves to overlook their antics because of the good name they bring to the school. At night, Iboku and Idi walked down the forest very far away from the school. Iboku was afraid at first, but they got to their hidden house and settled in. Soon, the lovebirds began to have fun. A knock came from the door and Idi opens the door. Behold, it was the rest of the friends. Confused, Iboku asked why they came, but the sound of the music changed as the leader of the boys himself, Lashe, forced himself on her, tore her clothes even. Then they took turns in forcing themselves on her. While they were doing this, Ibokun shattered and was in tears. She picked up her clothes and ran back to the hostel. ID followed her immediately as guilty conscience gripped him, but an unknown demon attacked and butchered his face in cold blood. Amanda got the feeling at once as she panted in bed. Ibokun collided with Mother Superior, who questioned her on why she's not in bed. Poor Ibokun told her everything without leaving a thing behind. But surprisingly, Mother Superior, on hearing the names of the boys, blamed her for breaking the school rules and putting herself in danger. She said she would get to the bottom of what really happened that night and warned Ibokun sternly not to spill a word of what had occurred to anybody. She went back to her hostel broken and in tears. Edna could not help it but utter some words that says, like I always say, it always ends in tears. In the morning, the boys while in class wondered what could have happened to their friend ID as he did not return to the hostel that night. The teacher decided to ask them a question. Lachey took it upon himself to save the day. When he finished answering the questions, the teacher tells him not to interrupt the rest of the class members when they are learning because he knows it all. Amanda stops him by saying he doesn't know it and should stop priding himself like he does. She stood to him and gave a brilliant answer to the question. The teacher commended her, and this didn't go well with Lachey and his friend. After class, Edna was filled with joy as she was happy on how Amanda stood up to the boys. Lachey and his team stopped her and threatened her to stay away from them in order to avoid having issues. But the superior came and asked them what the matter is. But the boy says they are only chatting and introducing themselves to Amanda. Amanda frowned at the way Mother Superior did not say anything about the ill manners of the boys. Edna says she is the one always enabling them because of how important they are in the school. Edna asks her why she left her old school. She says it's because her mom lost her old job and is a single parent. Mother Superior asked the boys if they were out last night, but they all said no in denial. She tells them the ugly accusation Ibokun had leveled against them, but the boy says she has a strong distraction and has been a very big distraction to them, preventing them from studying. So she made up the lies to get to them. But our superior agreed and tells them to continue to study hard for the upcoming scholars competition so they could bring back the prize to the school for the fourth time. The boys tells her they have not seen ID and he's not in the hostel either. She informs them to send for Idowu to come see her, hence he returns back to the hostel. Regardless, Lachey and his boys could not help but wonder what could have happened to ID that night. In the forest the following morning, a woman trying to go to the market met the corpse of Idowu and shouted on top of her voice, running away to call the rest of the villagers, leaving all her things behind. Later, a detective from the police arrived at the scene alongside some of the villagers. He looked at the body but identified the boys' school uniform as those of St. Augustine Secondary School. The news spread like wildfire around the school and beyond, and the students could not help but wonder what could have killed the victim. In the night, close to the same spot where ID died, a drunk man was peeing and wooing a shadow without knowing that it was a demon. Then the demon attacked him as well and he died. At the same time, Amanda dreamt about the killing and saw Madame Koi Koi, the demon, enter the hostel. She was unable to stand up and the demon almost killed her. Then she woke up, but a superior called some of the school staff to tighten security inside the school because of the recent event. After all the staffers had left, Lachey and his friends returned back to Mother Superior, telling her that ID is yet to come back. She lied to them about how often he runs away from school and may have done that again this time. She tells the boys not to worry, knowing full well that the boys are saying the truth. She still went on to lie to them. She tells her PA to investigate the matter critically and get back to her. Shortly after, Baba tells Mother Superior of the police officers around waiting to see her. They introduced themselves as Inspector Theophilus Achebe and Oscar Akintoye. They said they have come to discuss about the dead body found in the forest that was young and wearing the school uniform. Mother Superior, however, says that the body was found on the outskirts of town and not anywhere close to their school. She says the school uniform is a common and famous fabric in the market, and anyone could easily buy the fabric and sew it. She says that none of her students are missing, as they are all safe and accounted for. She lied with so much confidence that the police officers had no option than to believe her, so they left. Again, Mother Superior received a phone call from the state government official informing her of their intentions to come to the school so they can come take records of all their students and ensure that none of the students is a victim of the recent death in the forest. She also lied to Miss Adeshola about her students being safe and complete, and she shouldn't bother coming to stress herself counting her students. Lachey and the boys confronted Ibokun about the whereabouts of their friend ID, and as they were exchanging their words, while the students were exchanging words, Baba approached them and asked Ibokun, what was wrong? She answered saying nothing and that no one would ever believe her anyways. The boys spot Amanda and Lashe says he would use the current condition of their friend to deal with Amanda. Additionally, the Koi Koi demon yet again killed a man who stole and killed an innocent trader. And Amanda's always had the nightmare. In the morning, the villagers called the police to come see the body. Baba, who was present, recognized the style of death as it had happened in the past. He stared in fear, then he left. He quickly ran to Mother Superior and warns her about what he saw. In his voice, he says, "It is back. That thing Sister Ruth saw many years is back." But Mother Superior refused to listen. Instead, she calmed him down by exposing the outcome of what their lives will look like once the government comes to take the school from them, and not the church handling it. So, Baba left. On his way back to the gate, he met Sister Ruth praying in the chapel. He begged her to talk to him about what she saw that year, as the demon is back and is killing people. But Sister Ruth never said a word to him. Lashe and his friends met Mother Superior and demanded that Amanda joins them as she is a brilliant student and will help them bring back the trophy. The sister agreed at once. She sent for Amanda and carefully tells her to join the boys, else she would fail her exams. On the day of their reading practice, Edna went with Amanda for protection. The boys were pissed she did not come alone. As Edna challenged them, they tried to rape them, but Baba interrupted their evil action and the girls ran back to their hostel. Baba, not happy with the evil developments, went to the police inspectors. There, he narrated to the police the origin of the demon named Madam Koi Koi that is behind all the death record in the forest. He says that the main reason everybody is advised to see Kaya BAC once they enter the kingdom, as the story is dark. He narrated saying that in the year 1971, in Malomo Kingdom, two sisters, Ruth and Rosemary, were walking late in the forest. Rosemary, wearing her nice heel and a fine dress, was going home that night, and her friend Ruth saw her off. As she walked across the thick forest, a man, Bolu, whom she recognizes, stopped her and later his friends joined. They assaulted her and took turns in raping her all through the night. When they finished, she took a stone and hit Bolu in the head. He began to bleed. Bolu bounced on her and beat her up badly, then used the stone to destroy her face. Afterwards, he used his leg to smash her head, even though his friends tried to stop him. Rosemary lied there, half dead. Then the cursed tree began to call her, and this left us in anticipation and anxiety for what it is to come in episode 2 of this scary and interesting movie called Madam Koi Koi. There you have it, guys. This brings me to the end of the recap of episode 1 of Madam Koi Koi. Please don't forget to stay glued to my channel as I will come back with episode 2 of this wonderful movie, as we are going to find out what will be the fate of Lashe and his friends and Ibokun. If you're interested and if you want to know what happened, please don't forget to stay with me. Hit the subscribe button, like, comment, and leave your wonderful speeches about this recap, about this movie in the comment box. Till I come your way next time, stay happy.